Hello everyone, I'm here today with a prep video showing all of the stuff that I have gathered for my trip to New York in March of 2023. And I'm going to open up the container. Normally I use a big like 13 by 13 bin, but I was able to fit all of this in one of these containers instead, which is great. This stuff I've already gone through in one of my travel with me videos while I was actually in New York. So I'm not going to go through that again, but I'll link the videos down below so you can watch those if you haven't seen them. But I wanted to just show what I've gathered and how I put things together. And this is always fun for me too for New York because I've been quite a few times, but it's different every time. Like this time, normally I will go to the Met every time. This time, didn't go to the Met at all. I had other things to do. I chose to go to the New York Historical Society instead. So it's a little bit different. So it's still New York, but it's not the same things. Plus I took a day trip to Mystic, Connecticut, which is something I've never done. And actually on that note, I'm going to start with this. One of the things they had there in Old Mystic Village was a tea shop that was themed with all kinds of Alice in Wonderland stuff. And I have some things that work with that theme, so I put those in here. So I had a set of digital cards that I bought a while ago and have just held them. So I like the white rabbit there. And then I had this little one that said time for tea. And then I got this ephemera pack from Echo Park maybe a year ago now. They were having one of those warehouse sales that they do, and it was in there, and I'm guessing maybe they had a bunch left because it's a very, it's a very specific theme. I don't know how often you're going to scrap Alice in Wonderland, but I liked it because I knew I was going to go to this tea place, and so I have all these little pieces of ephemera. Now, I don't have enough pictures to support all of those, but I hope I can use quite a few. Maybe I can do a cluster or something to use a lot of them. But so I have that specifically for Mystic, and I'm excited about that. I have a couple more just general things in here. These a friend actually gave to me, and KI Memories, these are very old, and I don't know how long she had them, but she asked if I wanted them, and I thought a couple of these might work. The beautiful one, the colors match some things when I was outside. Same with Discover. Maybe the one that says Unique. I can't remember if I had that bright yellow, but I thought maybe I could make use of some of those, and I may end up just tossing the rest and not feel guilty since I didn't pay for them. It was, a gift given to me, but I'm going to try to use some of those. I have this Skyline acrylic piece, and I had another one that I used in a previous album for New York, and I can't remember if I bought two on purpose or if that was a mistake or what, but I have another one. I'm not sure I'll use it again because I think I'm going to do a Life Crafted album, and this would be too wide for that because I can only go 4 inches wide, but I have it just in case. You never know, could change my mind and make it a 6x8. And then again, these are just some generic stickers from Ellie's Studio, and there are multiple things on here that I could use. Obviously, I wouldn't use all of them, like the cooking thing. I wouldn't use that. But there are other ones that I might be able to utilize. And they're very just sort of everyday type things, so I threw those in as well. Now, I have a whole bag of cards and stickers specific to New York, or that I know will work with the photos I took. So those are in here. So here's some New York themed stickers. Might be able to use them. Statue of Liberty. We went on the ferry, but I already know that color won't match. I didn't even really go to Central Park. I walked kind of on the side of it for a little bit, but I didn't really go in the park this time. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to use any of these, but they're New York themed, so they're in there. And then just a couple of little phrases I think are randomly thrown in here. And then I have these stickers, and again, I used part of these on a previous New York album, but I freaking love them. So I bought a second set. Did I need a second set? Probably not. But I loved them enough to spend the money, so there they are. I also have this little ephemera piece. I hope the camera picks it up, but it's the Statue of Liberty. And since we did see it, from a distance on the ferry, it looks like I got something on there, actually. We have to clean that off. I don't know what that is. But I don't oh yeah, there's a big spot on it right there. What the heck happened? Well, maybe when it's against something it won't be so noticeable, but I love it because we actually did the ferry and saw the Statue of Liberty. And then here are a bunch of my 3x4 cards. Again, some are very specific to New York. I have yet to get a good picture, like close up of the Chrysler Building, but yet I keep this in there. I don't know. Empire State, I did see. I didn't go to it because I've done it before, but I did have a picture of it in the background. And then just some things that either say New York or look like New York. Gotta have your subway stuff. So, you know, they're all in here. We'll see. I won't use all of these. I'm quite certain of it. But I like having them in here. I like having choices. And it was just starting to be spring there. There were some things blooming, so that was kind of nice. So that's why I threw that in there. And just, you know, random stuff that I know will work. This I actually had originally in my Milwaukee bin and then switched it out because it matches better with the Morgan Library photos I had than with the bookstore in Milwaukee. So now that has gone into the pile for New York. And then I have a couple of 4x6s. Again, if I do a Life Crafted, these won't work or I'll have to cut them down. But I like having them in there just in case. I also have these stickers that I bought a while ago. I'm not quite sure these colors will work. They might, because I have a couple of sunset shots that have a very coral type hue to them, so they might. But I threw them in there because they're obviously New York themed. And then I have a notepad of these that I think, are they from Allie Edwards? I think they are. But it's a 3x8, so if I end up using a Life Crafted album, that's perfect. And so I threw that in there thinking maybe I could just use it for one particular thing that I did. So threw that in there. And then I have a bunch of 4x8 cards or backgrounds. And I think this might end up being my opening page. I love it. It's from a set of digital files I bought that are all like this. They're sort of this artsy look to them. And then I put these in there because, again, I have sunset skyline shots and sunrise, actually, on a different day, that those might be good. So I threw those in there. And then the rest of these, they're a little bit more generic. None of these are specific to New York, but they're travel related. And so I thought, all right, well, those might work. I have two more sets of stickers that I threw in here. This is another one where I've had it for a while. This is from Rosie's Studio, and they're a company out of New Zealand. And I've had these little puffy stickers for a while and haven't really used them. I think I used two on here. That's probably it. But clearly there are some New York type things. Now, I don't take taxis in New York. I can't even remember seeing one when I was just there because since I'm not using them, I don't really look for them. It's probably in a shot of something I took. So maybe I can use that. And, you know, just like a generic building here and whatnot. I might be able to like fit those in, but I really chose them because I dig the colors in them. They're not what you usually find maybe. So I find that interesting. And then these are just a bunch that I have left over. These are from Vicky Booten, and I'm just trying to get rid of them really. And some of them might be okay, like especially this one, of course, is the big one I'm thinking of, is the skyline. And I have some cards that kind of match it. They're very similar, so that might fit in. And I threw a little rubber embellishment in there that says you and me because of the pictures that I have with my friend that I visited. So maybe I'll get to use that too. I also put together this bag of ephemera pieces, die cuts. This is wood veneer here. So just a bunch of different things that are either very clearly themed to New York or just city life. See, like this goes with this. This was from an ephemera pack from this line. So I don't know that I would end up using both of those, but perhaps one or the other. And just a bunch of other, you know, fun things like this I thought for the neighborhood shots in the Upper West Side maybe. Again, for my sunset photos, the orangey, pink, and coral tones might be good. So it's just a bunch of stuff like that. I was wearing a purple or a lavender sweater one day, so this might fit with it. It's that kind of stuff, but I like having them all gathered together so that when I'm ready to work on my album, I'm not scrambling trying to find things from 8 different places. When I have to do that, it kind of drives me nuts. All right, lastly, I want to show you my stamp sets. I have multiple stamp sets for New York. I go there enough that I felt like it was worth the investment to buy them. But I also have this one. This is a newer one I got, and it's more for New England as a whole. And I thought that might be good for my pictures of when I was in Mystic, Connecticut, because I do have pictures of the bay going out to the ocean. So it's on the coast, you can see that, and it even says East Coast, and then welcome to New England. I figure I might be able to fit that in with some of the photos I have. So I have that in there. We'll see if it actually gets used, but it's in there. But then I have 4 stamp sets for New York. This is the oldest one. This is an old one from Kelly Perky. So this was definitely before she switched over to be Paper Person for her rebrand. And then I have, this one is a newer one as well. I haven't used any of these yet. So I must have gotten this one between the last time I went and this time. Lastly, I have these 2 stamp sets. I love them both, and I'm sure they will get used in some fashion or other. But that gives you an idea of all the things that I have gathered and have at the ready for when I start scrapping New York. Thanks for watching.